Hey, Rembo here, and welcome to my channel. I may or may not be sitting in my underwear, but you will never know that, will you? Anyway, I got a chance to take out the Triumph Rocket 3 GT. Once again, I took one out with forward controls, and I gotta tell you, I absolutely loved this bike. This is the second time that I'm doing a review and that I took this bike out. And I kind of have to tell you, it's really becoming one of my favorite motorcycles. And if money was no object and I had more room in here, I would absolutely buy one. The bike is fantastic. All the Triumph bikes are really good. I guess the biggest thing I could say about all the Triumphs is that they are smooth. And when you take the smoothness of Triumph and then you add in all that massive torque that just it's really amazing. And surprisingly, this bike was very nimble for its size and weight. So anyway, I took it for a ride. Let me tell you all about it as I travel along. Let's do it. Hey, Rembo here, welcome to my channel. Look at this today, the Triumph Rocket 3 GT, right? The Grand Touring, not the R, but the GT with the forward controls. One of, actually the largest production motorcycle engine in the world. Let's take this thing for a spin and feel the power of the GT. All right, there we are. Keep looking at it while you listen to me drone on about this, but you are looking at the Triumph Rocket 3 GT. All right, this Triumph here can be yours in the United States for a starting price of $24,595. You're probably saying, Rembo, how big is that engine? Well, it's 2,500 cc's. Well, I'm lying. It's actually 2,458 cc's. It's an inline 3-cylinder, and of course, it is liquid, aka, in this case, water cooled. All right. Now, how much power does this puppy have? Well, that's a great question. It has 165 horsepower, otherwise known as 123 kilowatts, and that is at 6,000 RPM, 163 pound-feet of torque, and it is, with this engine, at 4,000 RPM. You're looking at a 3-to-1, really a 3-to-1 to 2 stainless steel header. Now this thing does have a wet clutch with torque assist. I can guarantee you that this does not have a slipper clutch because I just tested that out by downshifting. So yeah, we chirped the wheels. So how many gears do you get with this big puppy? Well, yeah, you're gonna need all 6. So it's a 6-speed gearbox right here. Now this is a full aluminum frame, and it does have, we'll look on the other side, a single-sided swing arm. Look at that. And it too is a cast aluminum. Looks pretty good. You gotta love the single-sided swing arms. I think they look absolutely gorgeous. Front wheel is cast aluminum. It's a 17-inch by 3.5, very standard size. Now this rear wheel, that's a 16-inch by 7.5-inch cast aluminum. And one thing about this, it is a very fat tire. So looking at the front, it runs 150/80s R17Vs. On the rear, it runs 240/50 R16Vs. Let's talk about this front suspension. It comes with the brand name Showa 47mm forks, 4.5 inches of travel, not too shabby for this kind of bike. That's about 100 and I don't know, is that about 170 or 120 millimeters, something like that. And it has compression and rebound adjustment. In the rear, way down deep in there that you can barely see, you have a fully adjustable Showa, and this rear has a surprising 4.2 inches of travel, which is about 107 millimeters. Therefore, if I go back to the front forks, that 4.7 must be 120 millimeters, not 170. So let me correct myself right there. On the front, we have Rembo Stylema, really awesome brakes, and you're gonna need them because this bike, it is heavy. 320 millimeter dual discs on this front end, and a very respectable 300 millimeter rear disc for the two pucks sitting here in the back. Also a Brembo. As you can see, this is a shaft drive motorcycle for those of you that like the shaft. Now, both the front and the rear brakes do have not just ABS, but the front and rear also have cornering ABS. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of this particular TFT. It's got a lot of information in it. In a small area, you got stuff on the sides with the lights. You have most of your information here, a little bit on the sides. Once it's turned on and I'm riding, you'll see. I'm not a big fan of it, but it does give you all the information that you need. Now, this does come, of course, with the TFT connectivity, all right? And you can connect to it with Bluetooth. But you gotta admit, this is really quite the gorgeous bike. Now, how many ride modes are there? Well, great question. There are 3: rain, road, and rider. And rider is the one that you can customize and adjust to your liking. And it's a very shallow seat height. It's about 29.5 inches or 750 millimeters. Nice and low, easy for just about anyone to reach the ground on. The gas tank here, it's 4.8 gallons. That's all they have listed. I'll convert it to liters before I do the video. And I can only find a dry weight. So this is a really heavy bike. Let's not put anything away here. This is an extremely heavy bike. The dry weight is 294 kilograms, which is 648.2 pounds. All right, that's the dry weight. And this big thirsty engine, between the gas and all of the oil you put in here, I'm gonna suspect that this thing is easily gonna surpass 300 kilograms and be close to 700 pounds by the time we're all done, if not more. This is a gorgeous bike, so let's just take it for a spin in road mode. Okay, waiting for this thing to, there we are. All right, it's a Triumph. Don't forget, these are forward controls. We'll talk about that. Pull the clutch in because it is a Triumph. Let me put these clutch out a little further for me. And clutch is in, and yeah, you hear that, right? Man, really, I mean, a 2500cc bike, kind of crazy, isn't it? All right, forward controls. Kind of like it. Ooh, yeah. Let's turn around. Nothing says torque like this bike, I'll tell you. Okay, so today I'm going to dive headfirst into the world of this Triumph Rocket 3 GT. And let me tell you something. This motorcycle it's just something else. In this video that you're watching right now, I'm going to break this down, what makes this beast tick. I'm going to blend it with my personal experience of riding this bike, which you're watching a video of, and I'm going to give you the lowdown on why you need to hop on one of these bad boys, and I mean ASAP, all right? Let's talk about the heart of this beast. Now, this Rocket 3 GT, it's not just your run-of-the-mill bike. It's got an engine that is redefining the game, all right? We're talking about a massive 2,500cc triple performance engine. Now, this is, like I said earlier, the largest production motorcycle engine globally. It's a torque monster, and it pushes out, you ready for this? Drop your jaw, 163 pound-feet of torque, and that's across the entire rev range. Yeah, you heard that right, the entire rev range. And when it comes to power, you're looking at 165 horses, which is 11%, by the way, more than the previous generation Rocket. This is like strapping a rocket to your motorcycle, okay? Now, it has set some records. All right, let's talk speed.
This can go from 0 to 60 in, take a guess, 2.73 seconds. Yeah, you heard that right. 2.73 seconds. So you better hold on, because when you crank it on this bike, it feels like it wants to just leave you behind and it wants to take off without you. This bike absolutely delivers power. But you know what else? It's comfortable. One of the things that I really loved about this bike, and this is a bit personal for me, all right, because I had a chance to hop on and ride this bike. Let me tell you, it's one comfortable ride. It had forward controls, which gave me more of a laid-back riding posture. And besides its size and power, it feels stable and surprisingly nimble. This is a heavy bike. It's like a big, powerful beast that just listens to your every command. I really, really like this bike. Torque and smoothness, and this is what I always talk about when it comes to Triumph. The most mind-blowing part of this bike, of course, is the torque. And it has torque that goes for days and days and days, yet it remains smooth as butter. Twist the throttle, and you're in for just a rip-roaring pile of power. It's an experience that's just hard to put into words. And trust me, it's like riding the most powerful motorcycle on the planet. And that's really what it feels like. It's just power. Okay, eye-catching. It is stylish. It looks good. People look at you when you're on this bike. Well, they're not looking at you. They're actually looking at the bike. They can care less who's on the bike. All right? It's got style. Triumph did a great, see, there's 3 greats job on this bike, and it has a great presence. It's hard to ignore it, and it really stands out in a crowd. All right? It's not just a motorcycle. It's a work of art on wheels. Now, they're not at the level of Ducati and the Italian design, but it is eye-catching, and it is a beast. It's got a lot of tech. All right, this Rocket 3 GT, it doesn't disappoint. It has a high-spec adjustable Showa suspension, and it has Brembo brakes, and they're on point. And that mass is optimized in an aluminum frame. It makes a world of difference. Plus, you've got different riding modes. It's got keyless ignition and a whole bunch of other tech that makes your ride smoother, more enjoyable, and here's the thing, and safer. And you can stay connected on this bike. So lastly, the Triumph, or it's called the My Triumph connectivity system, it adds just a little bit of an extra touch. It's got the GoPro functionality integrated right into the bike, and you can customize the TFT instruments to your liking. It's like having your personal command center on 2 wheels. So as you gear up for your test ride of this Triumph GT, you better be prepared, because remember, it's not just a motorcycle. This is absolutely an experience. It's got power, comfort, style, tech, and it's going to leave an impression on you. I really love this bike. Oh, I really love this bike. This is Rembo. Please like, please subscribe if you're still here. I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much, and have yourself a great day. Semper Fi.